What's up everybody, 40 the Broadway Saiyan here, and welcome back again to my YouTube channel with another video on Final Fantasy VII evercrisis. This time I'm going to be going over the top builds for Zack, or recommended suggested builds for Zack. I was talking to a buddy of mine who's a fellow streamer, and we noticed some interesting things about the weapons that are available for Zack. So building him is actually a little bit harder than I thought, at least for me, because the way that his weapons are designed, it's like they're mainly designed for him to be by himself. Because, as you know, in the Crisis Core storyline, you're primarily only playing as Zack, even for this one currently, unless they decide to change that as we progress through the story. So it seems like a lot of his weapons are built because of his storyline, which makes him kind of unique, but at the same time a little bit harder to strategize for, especially if you want to make him your primary damage dealer. But I'm going to do my best to give you guys some builds that I personally would want you guys to consider, so then that way, you know, our best boy soldier can still get some love, and hopefully he does get some love down in the future with some better weapons. So this is going to be my first build for him. For your main hand, you're going to want to go with Falchion. This is the 4-star. I don't have the 5-star version, but the 5-star version, you know, deals AoE wind damage, which is pretty good physical. It also gives him boost physical attack, which you want that because this is more of a physical build, and boost wind potency. The support materia is actually pretty solid. It gives you attack boost 1 for both slots 1 and 2, so you could be very flexible with your materia, either having magic or physical. And then the last one is purely physical, so if you have like a powerful like elemental blow or like ruin blow, that's what you want to consider putting there. Now in terms of his offhand, there are 2 options that you could run. The first one is Zweihander for overall more damage, and also giving him a strong non-elemental single target physical attack. He does get another boost attack from this one as well. He gets the fire resist, so I guess this is decent if you want to use it during like the Ifrit fight, for example, but I gave this to him for a bit more offense. However, if you want this build to have a bit more utility, the other weapon you can opt for is going to be Cutlass, because it does have that physical defense down debuff, and debuffs in this game, especially during endgame where the content starts to get harder, bosses start to get harder, debuffs like are super important. So if you want a bit more utility, go with Cutlass, but if you want just a bit more raw damage, then definitely go with Zweihander. Now with his outfits, if you have them available, I would definitely consider the Tropical Beach, because you're going to give him a bit more survivability. However, if you want more damage, you could go with the Valiant suit. Entirely up to you which one you want, but for this build, I gave him the one that we can get for free from the event, because it does give him a bit more HP. Now, in terms of sub-equipment, I kept it simple. Boost his wind damage, so we got the pulse gun. You get a bit more damage and also boost wind potency. And then you also have the Apocalypse, which pretty much does the same thing. And then I wanted to give him some survivability, so I gave him the Mad Minute, which gives you boost HP and also boost physical ability potency when the attack stance is at max. Then because your primary abilities are physical, this is definitely a great weapon to consider for him. Now, because this is the physical build, I am going to go with his LB1. I don't have his LB2 unlocked, but that is an AoE magic attack. But for this one, I'm going to be going with slash combo, because we want to focus more on his physical damage. So that's going to be my first build that I would personally recommend for Zack. Now the next one is going to be an elemental magic type of a damage dealer. Now again, his weapons are interesting, because for this one I went with the Crystal Sword Z, which deals an AoE fire damage attack. If this was single target, it would have been better for like a boss nuker, which is something Zack really needs. He doesn't really have a lot of options to nuke enemies. But this one, we're going to give him the fire, the Crystal Sword Z for an AoE fire attack. He gets a boost in both magic and physical, and as well as a boost in fire potency. I don't have it unlocked yet, but that's what he gets for that. And then his offhand, I gave him the Arc Sword. This is very similar to the Cutlass, except this time you are actually debuffing the enemy's magic defense. This is also great for its reinforcement abilities, because you get access, or 50% access if you have this on the offhand, to the boost magic attack. And since it's primarily more of a magic build for Zack, this is one that's definitely worth considering for your offhand. And then in terms of his sub-equipment, I went with Crew Kicker from Glenn, because he gets HP and fire potency. I also decided to give him the Barn Swallow for more magic attack, and then you get that lightning resist, which it's nice to have, but it's, you know, it's just there. And then afterwards, I went with Barrett's Flame Projector, because he gets more magic, and then he will get that boost fire potency for this build. Now, in terms of his costumes, I just went ahead and gave him the one from the event, because it gives him more survivability. And then if you have it, I would definitely go with his Meteor Shots over the slash combo. because that one is a bit more magic focused. This one is like physical and magic. That one I prefer in terms of this build. So this is gonna go ahead and do my my AoE magic build Zack. Again, I really wish he had nuking options like the other characters, but currently he doesn't really have those options for that. And then finally, the last build that I want to recommend is going to be the elemental build. Like, he has two different elements. One is physical, one is magic, one is AoE. Again, this character, like I said, his weapons, I feel like were built for his story because he's by himself. But for the main hand, we're going to give him Falchion again. And then for the offhand, we're going to give him Crystal Sword Z. So he has two AoE elemental attacks. And then in terms of the sub-equipment, I gave him Pulse Gun, because Pulse Gun boosts his wind potency. I gave him the Butterfly Edge because it boosts his HP, and also Limit Break potency because you're going to want to run his LB2 with this. And then afterwards, I took it off, but let me go ahead and set it here. There was a Fire Potency weapon that I wanted to give him for Fire. Here we go. So I am going to give him... I don't think I have it unlocked, but it's Glenn's weapon. It's the Crew Kicker. Yeah, I'm gonna be giving him the Crew Kicker in this case, which is the weapon from Glenn. Let me just go ahead and find that here. So I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna remove the filter. Actually, I'll just keep the filter. Where is it? Glenn's Crew Kicker. Is it this one? Yep, it's this one. Okay, because I want him to have a bit more HP, and also we're boosting his fire damage. So this time you have two weapons that boost each element, and then you have one that boosts his HP and also his limit break potency. So in assuming that you are running the meteor shot. So that's gonna be my builds for Zack. Let me know what you guys think down below. This one was a little bit tougher for me to do because I just find his available weapons to be a bit odd in terms of the way that they're designed. Again, I think they did it that way because he's always by himself, and hopefully we'll be seeing more weapons because I want my boy to get a bit more love because I really do love this character. It is just unfortunate that right now he's an inferior version of essentially Cloud is the way that I see it. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Let me know what you think of these builds, or if you have other builds for those of you that actually main Zack and really enjoy using him despite some of the things that hinder him currently right now in the game. Thank you guys again for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and stay blessed, everybody.